Devon Hendrix, also known as JPEG Mafia, has to be the most interesting artist I have come across this year. His style and sound is so unique, he's incomparable to any artist in the game right now. From his outrageous song titles to his distorted production sounding tracks, he ventures through multiple genres in each of his albums. He tends to have no central idea or sound in his work that sometimes can come across unappealing to traditional hip hop listeners like myself. But if you really take the time to hear him out, you'll find yourself enjoying his music. Now, let me give you a backstory of his early life. Hendrix was born in Flatbush, Brooklyn, to Jamaican parents that later moved to Alabama when he turned 13 years old. In Alabama, he dealt with a lot of racial prejudice, which would later help influence his music in the future. Once he turned 18 years old, Hendrix moved to Louisiana with his parents, serving a tour of duty in Iraq, and also spent some years stationed in Kuwait, Germany, and Japan. When when JPEG Mafia was in Japan, he started to dabble with music and created a group called Ghost Pop, where he gained local notoriety in Tokyo before leaving the military and moving back to the United States. After some years of multiple mixtapes and guest features to grow his brand back in the United States, he released his debut studio project Black Ben Carson in February 2016. This album had a lot of political lyrics that set the foundation for what JPEG Mafia's style. Tracks like You Think You Know and the 27 Club perfectly represent the dark theme of the project. After a 2-year break, JPEG Mafia would release the album that would catapult his career to new heights titled Veteran on January 19th, 2018. Veteran received a massive amount of praise from fans to hip-hop critics across the world. This album's success is the sole reason I even heard of JPEG Mafia to begin with. There are so many good tracks on this project from start to finish. The main highlights on this album are 1539, North Culver, and DD Form 214 are some of the tracks I loved listening to. JPEG Mafia would use this buzz from his second album to release his third project, All My Heroes Are Cornballs, earlier this year in September. Although I enjoyed a few R&B style tracks on this project like Jesus Forgive Me I'm a Thought and Thought Tactics, I felt like this album felt incomplete compared to his first two projects. He even has a couple interesting instrumentals on this project with Buttermilk Jesus type beat and Basic Bitch Tear Gas that felt like they belonged on his second project Veteran but just didn't make the cut. If I was asked to rank his complete discography in order, I would have Veteran as number one for its production and being the best sounding album out of the three. Black Ben Carson for its lyricism and its messages. And then his new album, All My Heroes Is Cornballs, at number 3. JPEG Mafia as a whole shows glimpses of longevity in this music industry. His style and character is so original and is exactly what the hip hop fans of today's generation are starting to gravitate to, and I only see him getting better in the future.